Everything starts with a moment, and that moment leads to a letterbox with off bitch on it, and that leads to Fowles Park and Patu and who cleans the toilet and why don't we say anything when he hits her and why, and then why not? Why not? Simple.
Renee is a pioneer, a gifted writer, playwright and novelist who's always pushed women to the front.
I really wanted women to be centre stage. I made no secret of the fact that I was there to write great roles for women, and they weren't going to be there because they were someone's cousin or sister or mother. They were going to be there out front because they were the hero.
And two more.
But to many, Renee herself is the hero.
It's so powerful, her writing, and just who she is. I don't know where we'd be in literature in this country without her. I think she's been that important.
Writing has been a great source of joy and irritation and anger and total pleasure.
Renee Taylor is 89 years old, but it wasn't until she was 50 before her career in literature and theatre really took off.
The first play that Mercury put on of mine, I could have rolled around laughing really because I think there were 5 women and 4 of them had big parts, and there were 2 men, they're both well-known actors, and one had just a walk-on and the other one had 2 or 3 lines. And honestly, it was just so funny.
The mother of 3 wrote a number of plays before moving into fiction novels.
Writing as instinctively to me as kind of eating or whatever. That's not because I get it right every time. It's not that at all. I don't. No one does. But it's just home, coming home, yeah. That's my mother there. You can't see it all that well because they're old faded photographs. Yeah. And
Renee was born in 1929 and brought up by her Māori mother in Napier.
The world went into a deep depression. And then Napier fell down. There was an earthquake in 1931, and then in 1934 my father shot himself, and my mother Rose was left a widow with 3 kids. It wasn't usual for a Maori woman to be living in a Pākehā community, and she liked to smoke. She rolled her own, and she'd walk along the road smoking, you know, like this was not done. And I mean, it was nothing for a kid to say, oh, your mother's a hoary. And so you learn very quickly what racist behaviour's all about.
Renee marched in the 1986 protest for homosexual law reform. A lesbian herself, she remembers the abuse they received.
We got a really hard time. It wasn't a big group of us. And how we got up the courage, I don't know, but we did anyway. And people were shouting dreadful things. And then I went with my granddaughter. We marched for marriage equality. And, oh, the difference. There were people there with pushchairs, people there with dogs, people on the footpaths were clapping, and I'm glad I lived long enough to see the change in attitude.
9 decades of experiences and memories, Renee finally started collating them for her memoirs.
When I was 86, I said, okay, I'm sick of the nagging. I'm going to write my memoir, okay? But I'm not going to do it chronologically, and I'm just going to do it my way, and I'll stick one up every week. So I put that on. About 3 minutes later, I get this message from Mary McCallum at Makarow Press saying, can we publish it? And I hadn't put a word on the screen at that stage.
When we launched her memoir last year, These Two Hands, and we went around the country, the love people feel for her, they remembered vividly seeing her at some point in their lives, either seeing her or reading her work and how it impacted on them. They remembered her being in these reviews, these crazy reviews they took around the country. Women talked about being in these packed little sweaty rooms watching what hadn't been seen on stage before, scenes with tampons in them, for God's sake.
And I quite like doing the exercise, that short sentence that we did, for sale, baby shoes never worn.
At 89 years old, Renee is still crafting stories and passing on her wealth of knowledge to the next crop of would-be writers.
Writing's hard work. It's very, very hard work. And the trick is to make it look like it's easy. There's a great quote. You can edit a bad page, you can't edit a blank one.
Over the years, Renee has received a number of awards, a Queen's Honour as well.
As a dramatist of the work.
And just last month, she was recognised again.
Please welcome the 2018 Prime Minister's Award recipient for fiction, Renee.
A special moment for Renee and her whānau.
I'm a playwright, I've got a script.
While she doesn't consider herself a sociable person, this evening is an exception.
And there it is again, the feeling that you're part of a story. And now I'm part of your story and you're part of mine. Kia ora.
It seems to me to be a lovely thing to receive it and to know that your work has been appreciated in this way.
Renee says her story is far from over.
How long are you planning to keep writing?
Until my hands fall from the keyboard. Yeah, I will keep going.